everything was going fine in camera land. There was Micro Four Third, APS-C, full frame. Until one day, where a camera brand decided to make a 100 megapixel camera that would change the world, the GFX 102.
So there it is, the GFX 102, or the second, as some might say. I've been shooting this camera for the past 2 weeks and I've got some thoughts around it and who is it for, but stay until the end of this video to understand who this camera is for. I've got some opinions on that. But to start off, I really enjoy the ergonomics of this camera. If you look at how my hands, and I've got fairly big hands, how my hands is sitting on this camera is very comfortable. It reminds me of the HS line, but a little bit bigger and so much sturdier. Like, this camera is built like a tank, although it is very refined in the way that they've put some leatherette on it. It reminds me of, I don't want to say Leica cameras, but it's very clean, cleaner than what you see on the XT and the XH line. So, I mean, this is a $10,000 Canadian dollars camera, so of course you can expect it to be premium in terms of the quality, the feel, but I will say this, the ergonomic on this camera is what attracts me the most to this type of medium format cameras. In terms of the button layout, so I like that these buttons are all like assignable and they're really easy to reach with your index here. And also the custom modes, very easy to go from C1 to C6 and pre-program all your settings within the camera and recall them very easily. And of course, you've got your aperture priority, your shutter speed, and your program mode. But again, this is also something that you're gonna find very interesting on this camera, is the ability to switch from one mode to the other, and also from video to still with this very handy button, stills to movie, so you can retain all of your settings and call them up in an instant. So the other thing that I really like about this camera, of course, is the size. I mean, if you remember the GFX 100, the first one, it was so big. It had a battery pack at the bottom. But now you're getting, again, the feel of the HS line, just a tad bigger. And also you've got your swipe up screen, but not only that is it swipe up, so you can do like the waistline level type of shooting, but you can also do this, and it almost tilts 90 degrees for the shots that you do up, but also you can do the side portrait type of mode, like so. And this is also something that I really enjoy with this camera. So again, it really feels like you're shooting a DSLR size camera, but you're getting, this magnificent full or larger than full frame sensor to shoot your images. I wouldn't recommend this camera for street photography though. That's something that, some of you guys are crazy and are going on the street with that. Be my guest. I guess you shoot whatever you want, but I would not recommend it as the street camera. I would recommend this more for product photography or fashion or in the studio type of photography, or getting some landscape shots. This will give you 100 megapixel of pure, Fuji colors and so on and so forth. So again, this camera is more geared towards that type of shooters. Also, in terms of the cards that you get in there, you get a CF Express card that you put here on the first slot, and then you've got your SD card as a second slot. So in terms of the cost, again, you're spending $10,000 on a camera and probably $3,000 on a lens. So I'm sure you can afford, hopefully, the cards to go with it. But I would highly recommend that you get that CF Express card to get the buffer. I mean, these are 100 megapixel files, so it needs a fast card. And also, if you do video, this thing can shoot 6.2K and all these crazy modes in video. So I would recommend doing that also. I think it's 8K. I said 6.2. I think it's more 8K video from that sensor. So instead of me talking about the camera and blabbering again and again and again, let's go out and shoot and let's see what we can capture with this beautiful camera that is the GFX 100. So why don't you come with me, Livia? Let's go. As a first shot here, I'll try to capture these two benches there, and I'll shoot it against the sun here and see what we get. I'm gonna be doing this shot at f8, and this camera has IBIS, as we all know, so it's gonna be interesting to see the detail level that we get at f8 for this type of shot. I've got some shadows, I've got some nice shot. I'm at ISO 80, which is also the base ISO of this camera, which is nice. Shutter speed 180 and f8. It is a sunny day, so let's take a shot. Let's take another one. There's a nice little duck in the back. Nice. And let's take 32 millimeter and take a wide shot also. And then let's do the portrait shot. This is when the tilt on the side up function becomes interesting. You've got 3 trees there. I'm at shutter speed 320, f8. I still ISO 80, and let's capture this. Of course, all handheld, so this is also something that the IBIS system in there, stabilizing this big sensor gets you is higher shutter speed. You can shoot, at f8, f11, even f32 for that matter on that lens. You know what? Let's try a shot at f32 and see if that's what the fuss is all around for those GFX cameras. Let's do this. Let's capture the detail. f32, ISO 500, and shutter speed 125. There you go. So I'm gonna put the shot on screen and you tell me if you like it in terms of the details. This is not award-winning shots, of course. I'm not doing, portrait photography or street photography. It's just to test the camera, and there is a subject passing by. So let's do a little shot here just to see what the subject detect. Yeah. So I activated subject detection. This camera does have human detection. It does have subject detection, so animals and birds and planes and trains. So again, this will never be the fastest autofocus camera on the market, but it's nice that they've added it to this very big sensor camera. Okay, so there's some ducks right there. So let's, again, try to capture that. I'm gonna go at f8, and let's do this. I'm gonna take a very small focus point to get them and put animal detect. There you go. Nice. So hope these shots turned out well. Again, nothing award-winning here, but just trying to test this camera. So I've been shooting the GFX 102 outside with that zoom, but now I really want to test the portrait ability of this camera. So look at this big sensor. This is the 110 millimeters from FUJIFILM. So let's mount that up right here. And we are actually at my favorite barber shop. I'm getting a haircut today, so I will ask my friend, my barber, if he wants me to take some shots, and we'll test it out. So this is the 110 millimeters on the GFX 102. Let's try it out.